since 50 years, people don't care about this anymore. You can't do that. So I made a list of all the weird things that I say in English now after learning so many languages, and I just wanted to, I feel like I need to tell somebody this. Also, hello. If you don't know me, my name's Elysse, and I am learning Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, ASL, Turkish, Italian, and Farsi, and several of those I have learned to a good level, but you know what that does to your brain? Terrible things. Terrible things. I am a native English speaker from the US, theoretically. Now I think that's debatable, but yeah, I feel like I have started to say a lot of things in English that are just not natural. They're technically mistakes. I don't think they like impede understanding. I do want to just preface this by saying that they're all pretty like cosmetic mistakes, I feel like. Like, you're still gonna understand what I'm trying to communicate to you, but I sound a bit unnatural now, and that's because I'm taking things from all my different languages. There's different ways that different languages phrase things, and then I bring that back into my native language. Let's talk about it. I have my list here. Okay, so the first thing is the way that I use the verb take. I use it wrong. For one, I have started to say taking breakfast, like I need to take breakfast, or we're gonna take breakfast, instead of have breakfast. I think it's a Romance languages thing, because Spanish, for example, you say tomar café, to say to have coffee. I think also in Italian, they say prendere un café. So like, my brain has associated consuming with the word take. Tomar, prendere. So now I say take breakfast or take a coffee. I do say that sometimes. Also, taking a decision. This is also a Romance language thing. Spanish and French, at least, I know they say take a decision, tomar una decisión, prendre une décision. And so now there are many decisions to be taken. I kind of feel like take works better for take a decision. Because what is a decision? It's a stance. And we say take a stance, right? I don't know. Food for thought. Oh, so this next one's interesting. I've started to make things countable that are not countable. So, you know, the concept of countable and uncountable nouns in languages, it's like you have $5, right? Dollars is countable, but money is not countable. You have money. You say, I have a lot of money. You don't say, I have a lot of monies. So with that same logic, I will, be making breakfast for me and my boyfriend on the weekend, and I'll say something like, how many breads do you want? Instead of how many slices of bread. The slices are countable, the breads are not. Or broccolis. I've started to say, like, instead of pieces of broccoli, I will refer to it as there's a couple of broccolis left if you want them. I don't know what to make of that. I feel like the lighting's really it's like harsh. Let me figure this out. Okay, we can just kind of shift. Oh, this next one, someone commented on one of my videos recently that I said this, and I did not even realize that I said it. And I guess that's just how normalized this is in my brain, saying, how is it called, or how is this called, instead of what is it called. In English, you're supposed to say what is it called. And it's because in the majority of the languages that I speak, you say how is it called. ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Y s'appelle cómo? Wie heißt das? So it's always wie, cómo, which all mean how. So it's just natural. Yeah, I'm kind of also like, I think it sounds better. I feel like English, we should adopt that, but no, I guess we won't. Okay, so this next one is fun. It's like crazy how one-to-one I am taking this from German. It's the word since in English. I misuse this word so much. So the word since in English, it can only be used for fixed points in the past, like since 1981, or since my birthday, or, since World War II. But I recently misused it in a way that was really funny to me. I was talking about like how women are a lot more liberated nowadays and people don't care so much about how women dress. Debatable. But anyways, I said, since 50 years, people don't care about this anymore. You can't do that. So I know the word that I was looking for in English is for, because you would say people haven't cared about this for 50 years. And I know that I'm like getting this one-to-one from German because of the word seit. This word, it can function like since in English. You can say like seit 2000, since 2000. But it also works in the meaning of for. So like, you can say, ich lebe seit einem Jahr in Berlin. I've been living in Berlin for 1 year. So then my brain takes that back into English, and I think, since 1 year, I've been doing this. Or since 50 years, people haven't been doing it. But that's not right. You can't use since to quantify time in that way. Now, I've also started saying, this is a new one, I'll advise you. I'll advise you instead of I'll let you know. I know that I'm just taking this like one-to-one from Spanish, te aviso, because avisar, to let someone know, looks like to advise, which is to give someone advice. No, they're not the same thing. Another thing, I think this is maybe like, it's not really a mistake I make, it's just something that I don't say as much in English anymore that is really natural. You know how in English we use the word get for everything? Like you get money, it's like to receive, or lots of money examples in this video. Or like when you arrive somewhere, you say we got there at like 10 o'clock or something like that. I don't use got in the sense of like arriving a lot anymore. I feel like I always say when we arrived in Germany or when we came to Germany. Like it sounds a bit more formal. Like in every day you would just say, yeah, and you know, when we got to Germany, everything changed or something like that. You would say got. But because in German and also Spanish, you use the verb arrive a lot more. Like als ich angekommen bin or cuando llegué en Alemania. Yeah, you use the word arrive more. So I take that back into English and I use got less and I use arrive more. So yeah, it sounds super, when we arrived, sir. Also, these drunk, seemingly drunk German guys just pulled up with a big ass radio. So if you hear them in the background, don't mind them. They're just, you know, taking up space. Anyways, so my last point, using the word feel wrong. So in every other language I speak pretty much, to say you feel a certain way, like you feel tired, you feel sad, whatever, you say I feel myself. You make it reflexive. So I feel myself sleepy. Me siento cansada, je me sens fatiguée. You can also say je suis fatiguée, estoy cansada, but you know what I mean. Ich fühle mich. So yeah, I've started to say I feel myself sleepy and stuff like that. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Am I complaining? A little bit. You know, I feel like, yes, this was my deal with the devil to make. Like, yes, you get to be so cool, hot, and sexy and learn a billion languages, but you have to sound like a robot in English sometimes. So I'm willing to make that deal. English is such a malleable language, I find. Like, it's used throughout the entire world. It's the lingua franca. It's learned in international schools. Like, there's so many different kinds of English, and there's so many ways that English can be. So, wow, that sounded really poetic out of nowhere, but you know what I mean. Like, it's already such a smorgasbord of so many other languages. Like, smorgasbord, that's from, like, what, Icelandic? Swedish? So there are no rules, baby. It. I also wouldn't characterize my, like, the weird ways that I speak English. I think it's not just these little cutesy mistakes everywhere. It's also, like, sometimes I genuinely have trouble finding my thoughts and, like, organizing my thoughts in English. Finding words for things is also really difficult sometimes. And so, yeah, it's not just, like, a list of mistakes. It's also just, like, maybe I feel like I have a weaker grasp on my target language. My native language. Ooh, Freudian slip. Because on the street and media, everything I see, billboards, whatever, it's all in German now that I live abroad. So thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if something similar has happened to you, if you feel like you're forgetting how to sound natural in your native language because you're interested in learning other languages. The cool thing about learning languages is, yes, it like gives you so many cool life experiences and it reshapes your worldview and it reshapes the way that you think. But part of that reshaping the way that you think is literally overriding your native language patterns in your brain sometimes. So that's just unfortunately the deal we have to make. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Love you so much. See you next week. Bye.